but you never know. So, like, for example, what map will we be on? Of course, you got to start with the 2 auto bans.
Cafe.
Coastline and Cafe, yeah. Well, Coastline, the auto ban twice now. So, not going to see that very likely at all today.
Villa, Border, Consulate removed. And here we go, we're
Clubhouse
back.
again, all right. Well, this will be an interesting one because MIB R yet to play it during the season. Ninjas and Pyjamas only played it once. They did win, and I believe it was a 7-4, if I recall correctly. But this is definitely an unknown quantity for MIB R if they've only really got the one match of Ninjas and Pyjamas to go off of. So I'm not sure that that's a really good advantage there. I'm surprised, though, to see a 22%, honestly, for this, just because MIB R have been really struggling, and Ninjas and Pyjamas have not.
Yeah, so as you said, it was a 7-4. It was against Team 1. This was Play-Day number 4, so June 28th, and I believe that this was right before DreamHack Valencia, like literally the week before. So we looked at it like, oh boy, Team 1 are going to be so amazing there, as they played very well as well, and impressed at the Allied Minor in Vegas. So
Team 1 are a good team, they just don't always win.
Yeah, and it's really here. And right now, the big competition is between NIP and Team 1. If NIP win here and Team 1 lose in their next game against FaZe, which again, big possibility.
Entirely possible, yeah.
Then NIP just go to Japan. However, if they do not, on Friday night, NIP play Team 1. So regardless, the next 2 play days, NIP might just qualify.
I think it's pretty likely. MIB R, though, as we said, just need to stay out of the relegation spot because they were such a solid, amazing team before they've fallen off the season. But I would hate to lose them as a team because I think that all the players have shown they have the capability. You look at those opening kills, for example, they just, as a team, seem to have lost something or are being countered well. I definitely think they could come back as a team, though, so I would hate to see them just fall off. See how these bans go, though. Will we get the fabled Thatcher ban, or will they be smarter and go with the old Maverick ban? It's up to MIB R. Capital ban first, though. See, this is where they could have gone for a ban that benefited them a little bit more, but still, it is good to see the Capital go if you're a defender, especially if you're playing Cash as well, because the positions are so known. There's the Maverick, same attacker bans. That means we're likely to see the same defender bans as well as last match. Everything just in a slightly different order here. Let's see how it goes. But that means that is going to be the Thatcher still in play, thankfully. All right, still continuing the trend. Echo then to go next, if that continues. What will it be?
Would be Echo.
Yeah. I'm always hoping it's something that's just like, what? It's always fun, because then it means there's a strategy in play as well that's interesting, I think, potentially.
They're time for this one?
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, maybe they're thinking of or debating doing something a bit more wildcardy than an Echo play, but
here we go.
There we go. I was gonna say if they took that long just to ban Echo, I'd be pretty disappointed. Maestro ban, interesting. So the Echo will be in play. Now, of course, they start on defense first, so that will benefit them first off. And this is being a defender-side map, despite what last match showed.
Don't look at last match and assume that that's the definition of everything that happens in Clubhouse.
Although, you know, it was for Black Dragons. They won 2 out of the 3 defensive rounds, though.
It's statistically speaking, it's not the majority.
Well, that's what I mean. Winning 2 out of 3 defensive rounds pretty much sums up kind of how defensive-sided this is. So that was a good representation, just only in the second half of that map. Bullet sneaking off the Mozzie to a smoke. Interesting choice here. And not bringing the Echo when you just specifically made it available. Maybe they will for the upper site, though. You don't need it as much for Church, so that's not a big deal. I think it's a little more beneficial sometimes for Cash. The difficult part, though, is if you can't keep the wall closed and you can't keep Garage, there's very little places for Echo to play in safely, so that does become difficult. We'll see the Ed, though, to be able to deny those hatches. Otherwise, nothing unusual. Attackers bringing the IQ. I feel like that is the they might 6 pick to an Echo kind of play. You know, I think it's good to bring that just in case because they left Echo. And I feel like if they hadn't, if Echo had been banned instead of Maestro, we likely would see Psycho on a different operator. But that being said, they're bringing both hard breachers to be able to open up as much as they need to, but they'll also be able to spot quite a bit in terms of at least some of the setup. But there's not really a lot you need to spot with IQ in terms of gadgetry on the defense, because you're going to know if something's electrified from the Kaed.
Yep.
And the goo mines are not really something that are mandatory to spot. They just help. So I can't imagine them getting a lot of utility out of that. So he's going to have to be good on that gun. Navi's, though, taking a few shots to his bald little head there.
And it's Psycho. He's going to do work regardless, right? Mm-hmm. It don't matter.
Gotta love when players are appropriately named. Although I think that is usually kind of the naming in gaming is just really kind of machismo names.
Yeah. I mean, Emzo, wall hats, yeah, maybe.
I'm not.
He loves the medic. Like that's.
I'm just not that kind of person.
No.
We're just we're too kind-hearted. We have nicer names like Pony, Rainbow.
Pony with a W.
Yeah.
Pony. Oh God.
Oh yeah, that's true. That could have been.
It's awful. It's such a gamer name.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of a slow take here, but not drastically slow or anything. They're just making sure they're being careful, not getting caught off guard. Because this is the first round, and that is where usually surprises kind of come out in terms of roams. But Navi's was on that roam earlier, so it does seem to be appropriate to play careful. And unfortunately, none of the roamers are going to give themselves away to the IQ in the sense of like you not having a vigil or something like that. So he's not going to be able to spot anyone doing that, and there's no Pulse as well to spot with it. I feel like Pulse just isn't played all that much in Latin America in general, or even in many regions in general. Like I feel like he's kind of dropped off a bit lately.
Lately, yeah. I mean, we've seen him on Bank a decent bunch, but
well, that's a very site-specific
playground
thing, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
you do have a very good point. You see, there's one electric claw that's set right on the blue hatch. So it's being used definitely, and it should stop the assault for just a bit. Jaeger's gonna stand near his ADS, and he's got some cover, and the hatch should have been opened here. There you go. Thatchers are used. I'm just so happy that there's no Thatcher ban today, at least so far. This is like a godsend right now. Cyber looking everywhere, and Hugzord actually peeks Smoozy. I'm not sure. You got that reinforced wall for a reason, my man. Hugzord is lost, and now Electro Claws are just not going to do anything. They're out of play. You're going to have to rely on your impact grenades. I wonder if those impacts will be doing even much later. Psycho will be lost to Cyber, but at least Bullets has been taken away. That's the smoke out as less time is left as we started. Oh, how do you even lose that? Cyber, even with a Guru Mine, loses the gunfight to Muzi.
T-Hunt warm-up.
Lil Muzi is definitely playing here, and Novice turns around. He finds one kill, instantly dispatched though, an armory by Muzi. That's it. NIP take round number 1, attacking Church, and I have to question some of the positioning. Again.
Yeah, that's really what it was, positioning, but also not hitting their shots in terms of when they knew where the attackers would be, as we saw the one example of in blue, but also a good push. Ninjas and Pyjamas definitely isolating members of MIBR one at a time and executing on them quickly is what mattered. You know, getting the kills when they had the intel and making sure, well, they were just dodging those bullets pushing in. Overall, a good attack, but also a bit of a sloppy defense. Like you said, the positioning, not great from a lot of members of MIBR. But I got to mention, they also lacked a bit of intel. The Echo not being played, the Maestro not being played, they weren't really, they didn't have a Valkyrie. They really had nothing to identify where the members were coming from. And then when they did, they weren't winning the gunfight. So it was like a good lack of intel from members of MIBR, and Ninjas and Pyjamas just completely playing off of that to really catch a lot of them in those bad positions. So MIBR doing nothing to rectify that, though, this round, still not bringing any of those intel operators they really could benefit from. At this point, you could benefit from just throwing a yokai inside blue to know where they're playing on the other side of the generator, for example, to throw one in even Arsenal, just to make sure if they go to drop or anything like that, you don't have to play hard in Arsenal. There's lots of possibilities, not to mention the Valcams that could be there. Some of them could be taken out, though, by an IQ, but now that they know the Echo isn't being played, Psycho is going with the Buck this time, just to do a bit more destruction from above, especially in Kitchen. So, I don't know, MIBR not really adapting this round in terms of operator choices, and Navi's trying to roam again, potentially. Didn't seem to be play last time, but that was due to him taking a little bit of damage from the window. Still, though, unless he's just playing the old mind game of shooting a drone and then rotating back to site so they have to clear a little bit longer, but that doesn't gain you a whole lot. That's the problem with roam defenses here on this map, on Church site specifically, is if you burn time, it doesn't accomplish a whole lot for you versus getting kills. You kind of need to get kills or get safely back to site, because if you die, burning time for a death on this site, not worth it in my opinion, unless you burn like 2.5 minutes or something.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I know it's very confusing.
It's too easy to execute on site if you've gotten everything set up.
That's true. That's very true, and it doesn't take long once your hatches are open.
Yeah.
The actual push doesn't take that long.
And if you've got man advantage already, at that point, because someone sacrificed themselves, yeah.
You have to rely on maybe like a shotgun watching in.
Yeah, hoping someone comes at a 90-degree angle to you.
It's usually what happens when it's one back, right? So,
yeah.
Hey, let's see what happens here. So MIBR running the Electro Claw downstairs the car with the suppressor on his TCSG. Honestly, with the way that the TCSG works, where it does max damage up to 20 meters,
yeah,
you can run the shotgun with suppressor.
Yeah, most engagements you're gonna run into outside of the crosses.
You're gonna
from blue to dirt are gonna be like within 20 meters.
You're gonna double tap people to the other side of the map. No
We've
problem.
seen a couple times where they've just gone 3K in Memorial, like 2 different times, like where players have done that with Kaed.
Now the Zofia, will she drone for herself? Yes, perfect. Muzi will spot the Jaeger and will force it back as the hatch has been opened here in blue, so putting pressure on top.
That wasn't a bad play. He didn't take any damage over it, and he's going to play blue anyways. Just slowing that down helps. Obviously, had that drone not come, he might have been able to do it a little bit longer. And he's hoping to cover across now so they can hold blue longer, but Zofia's going to go in there with those stuns, I imagine, and really make it hard for him to pivot around.
There should be some ADS set up for Cyber here, or that he set up himself for himself.
One would hope they're all out of his pocket, so M-King did take a little bit of damage earlier, but he's not in a bad position, so he should be okay for now. And Bullet trying to just hold Dirt Tunnel. They're really just holding crosses here to make sure that their positioning isn't pinched on really quick like last round.
All utility gear from Bullets being used up into their tunnel. There's nobody that's gone through there. Kamikaze has actually been dropped. Not sure from where. Where did he come from? He's gone. Diffuser has now been picked up with 10 seconds left, and M-King is still watching over the front of the armory. You see the drop from the kitchen hatch. One more player taken away is Gohan on the Habana. The drop, but no, stopped by M-King, and the Diffuser cannot be set. Too afraid to get shot in the face.
Wow. After everything I said about time, they go and flub that. I mean, he tries to make the plant there. You saw him opening the little laptop at the very end. Just not enough time, but also that was good coverage. Much better play by MIBR. Playing those crosses we were talking about, just holding the attackers back as long as possible. That's when time matters. If you're holding them off of site itself, absolutely. If you're holding them off of the top 2 floors, not so much. So well played by MIBR, just much better coverage, not over-risking themselves early on, not peeking things unnecessarily, playing time, covering dirt, covering blue, just forcing them into an Arsenal drop. That was much better. And then also even the coverage of the Arsenal drop, just hitting up into the kitchen hatch at that last second there as well to make sure that the coverage wasn't there for the planter. Great execution. And now they're going to bring the Echo for the site that is more common on. Also a Doc, though, to be able to fight those long angles might be the one playing inside Garage or to cover Garage, because he doesn't really play that well in a lot of the other areas because you don't have the long angles to play off of as much. But also a slight change in utility from Ninja's Pyjamas. Psycho kind of being the flex. He went from IQ to Buck, now to Sledge. So they definitely want him on soft destruction, it seems, but what utility will he get out of that? We'll see. There isn't a ton of stuff to really Sledge, though I gotta say, on this particular site. Buck is a little bit better because let's say you get under the lounge, you can kind of help open the wall. I mean, Zofia can do that as well. The benefit of Zofia is you can do it from a bit further distance, so a little bit safer in the angles you can do it with. But overall, if you've got lounge control, it doesn't matter too much. Buck can actually do it with expending less utility, though, because Zofia only gets 2 of those impacts, whereas he gets, I think, what, 25 skeleton key shots, something like that?
Something like between 20 and 25 or something like that. So he's got quite a bit when it comes
so he's not going to be losing that too. So I think Buck, the better choice than Sledge. Really depends on how he's going to use it, but again, I don't see a lot of use for Sledge other than flanks from the bedroom or logistics side. So I honestly would say 100% take the Jackal over the Sledge. You still get the ability to do soft destruction, but you could track him. We saw how useful it was in that last matchup. Definitely think it's a better choice. Sometimes, though, it is a fragging pick. Some people really like that LA-85. It is a fantastic gun. You also get the SMG-11 for those close-range fights. You still get the nades that the Buck gets, and obviously you don't get the nades on the Jackal, but still, the smokes can be very, very helpful for a plant coverage. So we'll see, though, if Psycho can frag out on Sledge and make it worthwhile.
This is so fast. There's no... There's a Bandit, but there's no Mute either, so...
They're playing way too far back. They're playing a kind of retake.
That's why you bring the Clyde, to make sure that you can burn more time off of it, but hey, it don't matter. It's an early pick here for the attackers. They have good, at least, map setup. They still have to enter, but MIBR are focused more on the edges. So make sure that the attackers don't have pressure in the back. And once that's done, you can push him from the opposite end. Oh, okay. The Doc just jumps on in and finds the kill. I'm not sure if he destroyed his own ADS there by just firing into the drone. Might have happened. That's maybe what prompted that assault. Can you find the drone? No!
Teamwork! Cyber, he set Cyber up. I was about to say that was kind of a waste of a stun, but no, it was a setup for Cyber. Well played. That is the Thatcher down. Thatcher's job already pretty much done, but still. Now look at Kamikaze just blindly firing into his own death with those pre-fires as well. This coverage of downstairs. Diffuser now dropped in Garage. All they've got to do is cover Garage. Gohan is got to try and bring this back after that C4 kill, and he's trying, but to no avail. Bullet finishing the last one there. Absolutely great teamwork from MIBR.
That's how you play the Echo. If you're going to play the Yokais off-site, make sure that you are protecting your teammates and using every advantage.
Why they gave him a second one. Specifically was to be able to do that. Because I think there was some discussion from Ubisoft of it is that it became just this anchor role when you just had one.
Yeah,
and he did nothing most of the round. He just sat there, checked other cams. He was kind of a static late round operator that didn't do much like a lot of smoke players. And because of that, they gave him the second one to give him one to be able to roam that's a little more dispensable, so he could roam with it. And so I love to see that actually used the way it was kind of supposed to be, which is to really kind of stun people for those teamwork plays. So that was what you like to see. Well done. Isolating one member, punishing him, but then following it up with the second stun onto the Thermite and then finishing him off. That was really all about that Echo play. And for them to not play Echo again, a little bit of a bummer, but it was really mostly for cash. Still, though, I would like to see it for this site. You know, you lock up the bathroom, you could play in there for quite a while. Obviously, you may have to leave at some point, and there are limited exit points from that. But at the same time, you can play in showers for quite a while until it gets opened up. If it does. If you could deny one Thermite charge and the Hibana from doing a lot of work, the bathroom can stay secure, potentially. So we'll see. Somewhat even kills across the board, although Kamikaze and Julio not fighting too much yet, interesting enough. And having it be 2 rounds up advantage here for MIB are not a huge surprise with it being defender-sided, as we mentioned, but that was really good due to good teamwork last round. But now being on Gym Bedroom, we'll have to see if they can actually pull that off. It's definitely tricky. But it's good to see 2 rounds in a row, at least from MIBR, showing they are definitely not out of some of the good play we'd seen from them before, and just not a lot of the season. So I gotta wonder what corner they've turned in terms of if they're playing suddenly better.
I don't know if it was that or just, hey, we're playing the map correctly, how it's supposed to be done.
Well, they could have been doing that anytime before, but like we said, that they didn't play this map. So maybe this is a better map for them.
Maybe. Remember when impact tricking on this site was awful? And you could impact trick literally everything.
I don't remember that as awful. I remember that as fantastic to watch.
It was awful. It's like, oh, hey, they're going to open Jacuzzi? No. Well, it's open here. But back then it didn't.
Yeah, but now it's too easy to open it.
No, it's not.
It's done within the first minute.
Devin, we're not...
Too easy. You have to set up all this utility to deny it, castles, shields, maybe a Kaid to back up the bandit. You have to over-dedicate it to it now without the impact tricking. I don't know.
Bomb located by
personal preferences.
Novi's?
Oh, he doesn't want to give himself away, which is good. Wait till you have a solid pick, because you cannot afford to waste this opportunity.
Oh my god.
Oh, no one giving it to him. Wait till he stands still on like a drone.
And it's all done.
No!
They escape, and now Muzi is on site. Smoke will be thrown into his face here in the bathroom.
Throw it.
Push him back for a moment. And no, he finds 2 kills off of it. Muzi, there he is.
Pick himself back up if needed as well.
He's very Polish, so indeed he can do that. So Psycho's watching the rotation now in construction. As the Cloud is miles away and as a 1 speed, it takes a while to go back up to site. And this is a pretty big advantage here. Cyber has rotated back into a logistics office here, so he can watch, maybe pushes from the back stairs, maybe in secret vault. Potential is there, but the site is definitely going to be pushed anytime soon. You can already hear everything being opened up there, at least the castle barricade. Unfortunately, there's a nitro cell from Novi's downstairs that actually hits. You know there's a castle barricade that's going to stop your opponents, and there's no utility left. That's why breaching charges is now the metagame. 3v3 with Novi so low on HP. Muzi's done work, but it might be all for naught. Psycho's already taken one out. Bullet turns around and he's close to winning the kill. No, he loses it to Psycho. Diffuser is being planted as we speak, and Novi's has to turn around. Oh my god, no. No, no. Oh, he gets the kill still, but so slow. He could have won it all. But Novi's, you've done work, but so close. Yet so far. There's the round.
That's twice in that round Navi's just hoping to catch the angle and not getting it.
Good God. I mean, look, we can't fault him. You're entering into the bedroom and you're like,
no,
there's going to be a
him.
billion rifles trailed at me right now.
I honestly appreciate his patience in both those scenarios. I'm not saying he made a misplay. He played correctly. It just...
Unfortunate.
Yeah, he just
it happens.
definitely...
It happens.
Hopefully that doesn't tilt him too much. Hopefully he just feels like, you know what? That was just not a great round. We had 2 in a row right before it. That's the worst bomb site. Not a big deal. We can come back on this defender-sided map. Can do it.
And let's be honest, the mess-up didn't happen with Novi's. It happened way before.
It happened leading up to him having to clutch that.
Yeah, and honestly, you can kind of put a bit of the blame on him because that wall into Jacuzzi was opened up because there was no support.
Yeah, obviously. If only he had impact tricking to work for him.
No. That was awful. On that site, that was awful. Dude, holy moly.
It was fun. There's a limited amount of impacts you get in this game. You can do it.
Yeah, but what
Play counterplay. You got to trick them.
There's a limited amount of hard breach that you can have these as well. It's not like Thermite's just going to open the whole thing with...
Yeah, we've had plenty of times where there's like, you know, multiple operators not banned. Like Maverick, for example, would be fine. I think because it makes this Maverick's map, man.
10 seconds
It's fun.
remaining.
Let it go.
No. Well, it's too late. I can't change it anyways.
Admit defeat.
5 seconds to go.
No, you can't impact trick my point.
I don't know what sort of jacuzzi we're talking about here, Devin, but...
Put in the hot tub.
Yeah. Well, here we are. Hot game.
What?
Hot potato. It's Psycho that's on the floor already.
Well, those opening kills from MIBR, we know are there. They just couldn't finish this one.
Got it close. I wonder who was firing into him. Oh, it was Novi's.
He mad after that last round. He's like, I'm going to peek and get you this time. He wasn't on the Kaya this time, though. He left that to Hug Zord and switched over to the Bandit. Done a little bit better with that. He was playing Bandit a lot on this site. Well, every time on this site, though, so that's not a surprise. Did almost lose his head, though, when he was peeking out the stairs window. They are doing like what they did last time, which is holding their crosses. It's important also that they take out drones that come in as they come in. I knew that was going to happen right after I said that, too. So it is important, though. They want to make sure that they're able to deny the intel on the interior of the site. Yes, they're going to know you're holding angles there. You can change position slightly, but just deny them knowledge of the positioning of all the players, so when they go for an execute, they can execute swiftly.
Bonus here, of course, is having the double breach, so you can do quite a bit of work with that. First, Electric Claw will come out, and I wonder, the Habana was busy with one of the hatches previously.
Yeah, there's 3 hatches you have to worry about, so... I mean, with double hard breachers, though, if you don't need church wall or dirt, then you have 5 possible chances at opening kitchen hatch.
It seems like dirt's been opened up.
Okay, well, they did that last time and forced the smoke player Bullet to push him back. And Bullet actually ended up, I think, with the last kill around last time, too.
I'm trying to see, but it's like, we can't really control where the camera goes. So, no, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, so Moosey's going to come in and pressure, and there's a goo mine already stopping him. It's a very common goo mine to have here. Ooh, what a shot! So close to it. They actually trade Psycho to Cyber. This is great.
Yeah.
This is great for NIP because Psycho is so low on HP already.
Well, that's not a great trade, then.
Hey, man, you still got 1 kill off of it.
And that's the nades out. That's the important part of that to me.
Yeah, nades are away, and blue is now open. So, advantage. NIP might be able to use that.
Yet they're not pushing it. They're pushing Memorial instead.
Well, they've got the time. M-King's going to spray up and do a tiny bit of damage here. And here's the comeback. Habana, Gohan already watching. That hole is just, it's not supposed to be as wide as it is now. And Gohan's actually going to walk. I'm not sure what you were trying there, Gohan.
Hoping to catch someone rotating, probably from blue to church or vice versa.
No cav on this map, that's for sure. Novi's gets another one
that's
on the
diffuser.
Kamikaze. Oh man, this is falling apart. NIP are giving themselves up 1-to-1. They have the advantage. What are you doing? Novi's, he's just still there. He collects a third one. There's one more alive coming in from blue. That's already done and dusted. Bullet finds him. And NIP lose the round off of an equilibrium. They had everything, and then they can just presented themselves one by one.
A little bit of misplays. The play in Memorial and around there to be able to get the kill, for example, into Arsenal, that was good. The rest of the team, not collectively pushing well. The dirt pushes are not favorable to you. I like that they're trying to push across, but they didn't have the blue pressure to match it. And that was what they'd done well the first round, was that blue pressure, especially a lot of good gunfights there, although, to be fair, some of those were one-off of just bad aim or, recoil control coming out from the defenders. But that being said, once you, as you said, killed the Jaeger and had blue clear, you need to capitalize on that swiftly. You need to have the drone in there to know that. You need to push in. I mean, if you see a Jaeger death, like 9 times out of 10, now you have blue control. He's usually the solo operator playing it. Yes, there's usually a rotate into there, but if you can control that rotate hole, which usually you can when you take blue, yeah, it could have been favorable. Not to mention, if you take blue even from oil pit, you can have a long angle because you're going to have ACOGs all the way to dirt to make sure if you do have someone pushing dirt, they can push that smoke back over time right into your potential shot. Although the windiness of that tunnel does help a little bit, but it's just a little bit of misplays there from NIP.
There was a bit of time left. I'm not sure how many drones were available at that moment.
They did lose a few early.
It's just pushing into the middle of the hallway when the hole into Armory is completely open. You at least have your back completely covered once you enter from there. The hatch and kitchen was open. You could have used that to your advantage with support from the top floor. It was there, but it wasn't used. Unfortunate. And right now we go back to Cash. MIB R looking pretty here, and should this end in a 3-3 at the half, it should be still okay for MIB R. But NIP definitely should be looking for that extra. Is that a supernova? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is a supernova. The Bearing 9 is not what it used to be a couple of years ago.
Yeah. It's definitely still a decent weapon, but you got to be pretty close range for it. And that's the nice thing about having both options, of course, is, you have a long-range option and a close-range option. It's, similar to Sledge. With the L85 and then the SMG-11 to back it up, they both play very similar in that respect. A lot of slowdown here for this gym bedroom attempt. Or not gym bedroom, but a cash attempt from the bedroom. In terms of...
That is Supernova with an iron sight.
All right.
Very Nitro.
That was actually a good throw. Had he not dropped down, that might have worked.
I don't know if that was predicted or not, but in the end, it does work out, and I'm not sure if that was just by mistake. No, there's the MIB R. Okay, fair. I'm not going to harp on it. But shotgun on top of the stairs is definitely a good thing. That I have to say. You'll see a lot of smokes and mutes play that position. With a shotty and the Supernova is definitely not a bad
Stairs are always great like that. I mean, you look at like yellow stairs in Concept, for example. Psycho just doesn't seem to know really what to do at this point. He's just kind of providing coverage of any kind of jump outs or anything like that. There is the Echo this time, again. So it seems to be only the play for this site for them, which is, I mean, you leave Echo available and you only play him on one site. It worked for them last time. They just got to get some good use out of that Yokai again.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Julio watching Garage. There's no Garage control from NIP. That's why you'll see this. And
oh no.
EMP taken off, and Musi gets one hit, and the second one. Well done here. Supernova's not going to help you much, but the Yokai might. So, is there going to be a grenade? Yes, there will be. It will slow down M-King and should allow the attackers to plant. Kamikaze will go for one fake and go for next. He's unsure if there'll be... No, what are you doing? He runs right into the Echo, who falls back and takes no damage from the grenade. The Supernova is definitely doing work, and it's firing in the back. Julia, though, finds Novi's and leaves M-King all alone. The diffuser needs to be picked up here, so if you can just keep them back, they run right into him. They find one kill. Supernova in hand, but finally, NIP secure the round. At the half, we stand at 3-3. That got way too hectic.
Yeah, Muzi single-handedly won that round, in my opinion.
Just no way it should have gotten to that point, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely. But
why did he go plant all the way back there? I mean, sure, he was afraid of a nitro cell or something like that, but you know it's an echo. He can stop you, but you have so much time.
I seriously doubt they communicated accurately that he was playing with a shotgun at the top of the stairs.
I mean, even then, what is he going to do? You go plant behind servers and you're done.
Well, yeah, that was a misplay. No doubt about that. But that being said, like, Muzi definitely won that because they were playing very off-site to an extent. Like, you can only play so many people on-site, but the Muzi just running in and taking down 2 and almost, catching Echo as well, that was definitely not the play. His ability to go in and line up the shots quickly, you saw the sort of whiffed EMP, but the fact that he was just following that up aggressively and angling right onto Garage player was not prepared for that. It was... I don't know. That was good execution by NIP, but it did get sloppy, as you mentioned, especially with the diffuser getting dropped. That could have cost them the round by giving him that position. Had they not been able to, corral him from a couple different sides at once, force his positioning off, and having those grenades to kind of push him back a little bit a couple times, could have made it work. But they really needed to, honestly, time a grenade throw with picking up the diffuser. Should have been the play. Because you see them throw 2 grenades, but they don't use that to, as coverage. Though, things switch around here. We talk about it being defensive-sided. It was half, but NIP getting half of those rounds, that's actually pretty good for attacking. We saw last time how advantageous getting 5 is. 4 is still good, and 3 is not bad. So Ninja Pyjamas is still in a decent position, but they've got to defend, of course, at least as well as MIB R did. Muzi looking after that hot round for a freebie early on and not being given one. He's got a teammate, though, to back him up. Unfortunately, it's a Rook and not a Doc, so if he were to take some damage, Rook couldn't do much about it. But hey, at least he could pad his armor a little bit. So there is that. But Gohan still aggressively hoping to be able to catch someone and eventually having to fall off of it. Drones now coming out as they try and figure out where everyone's playing. But they are going to play a Echo on Cash, something we didn't see come out from MIBR, and something I think is a good choice just because of how effective we saw the Echo can be in terms of either playing for intel or denying some of the players their ability to take map control by allowing some of the roamers to retake parts of it. And you see how aggressive they're playing on this, so I hope they're taking advantage of Julio's drones as well. Gohan really just playing angles. That's why he's playing this Rook. It's absolutely why. Still think he'd be better on the Dock, but if he prefers Rook, go for it.
I mean, maybe you're expecting some grenades. It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah. And it sucks, too, to die with 2 impacts in your pocket. Because had he been Doc, he could have set up a bulletproof camera or barbed wire or something to do some kind of utility.
I mean, you've got the double impact. You could have used it to at least impact trick.
We'll have at least he armored his teammates.
I'll give him that. Not sure. I think it was a bit of a waste. Second EMP will go out and destroy Enirtila if it was actually prepared. Psycho will run away as Muzi. There we go. He's not going to relinquish control of blue. Smartly done. Psycho running the AUG A3, a gun that doesn't see that much use just because the power of the TCSG is pretty amazing, to say the least, especially the fact that you can put an ACOG on it. It's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, pretty nuts.
So, Zofia's going to turn around here into blue, and Muzi might find his ADSs burned out.
It's almost always guaranteed that the Zofia is going to be pushing blue. That's like just standard across regions right now.
You need the EMP here for it, and Hugzord's gonna go. EMP, well-timed, will go off. There's the thermite charge. It comes out as well as X-Kairos. The wall's open. A bit of damage. No, none done with the smoke, and there should be one singular smoke left on Kamikaze. He actually goes for the aggressive play. He's got a shield as well. The last Arsenic is gonna go out, and you're using the black box plus the shield combination to protect yourself. Hugzord will spot him, but is that really going to be enough? You got that new Mira shield, basically.
I like that shield play here.
So a little time left. The shotgun's just holding it. Perfect positioning. He goes for one more. He's spotting them as they move in, and he's just getting every single one collected by Kamikaze, and Psycho comes around the corner. There we go. That's why you'll see this hole impacted either late in the round or sometimes in prep phase, at least half opened up. But here you go. Defense downstairs in Church works out, and NIP collect round 4.
The only real issue I saw with NIP's defense was Gohan being a little aggressive, but being a Rook, he's not useful late round anyways, necessarily, because as you saw, you're not going to be fighting a lot of long angles late round. You're going to be fighting a lot of close positions, especially in church with shotguns, and absolutely worked out for Kamikaze. So that was definitely the play. I think that was a great setup. We've seen that shield a few times, but we haven't necessarily seen it work that well previously. It is definitely a great idea. And when you force them to burn off a lot of the utility, especially when you know that the Zofia is going to be playing in blue, and they just don't have anything left to take care of that shield, there was really not a lot they could do. But honestly, at that point, you need to push from a different side. At that point, just run around to the church door and you have a better chance coming around from behind it. But as you mentioned, black box is definitely a tough spot to counter no matter what. However, even if you had, like, say, part of the blue wall open, you could have pre-fired him from behind. Maybe even from the blue stairs? I mean, because you know, when you're standing on the blue stairs, there's kind of an angle you can get to the top of that bar. You might have been able to tag his head when he stood up, or something like that, if you had an angle open from the blue stairs.
I don't know if there was any time left for that sort
Oh, no, of course not. I'm just saying in theory, like, what you could do to potentially counter if that becomes, like, more of a thing. Because you see more and more teams trying that shield out, as you said. Now that it's more of a sort of half-mirror thing. Saw one player there with 11 kills on Ninja's Pyjamas, doing pretty well. It's a little top-heavy in terms of frags, but Ninja's Pyjamas now at the advantage. Winning a defensive round is not, as I said earlier, a surprise, but they've got to do it as consistently as MIB R was able to. They are going to be playing with the Echo again on Cashier. Interesting shield placement there. That is a... I gotta imagine again to try and stop the Zofia. Now, we were talking about, you know, you could hit the shield with one of the Zofia lifelines, take it out first. You're not likely to hit that one because it's, you know, on the other side of the door. I don't know if that will really do anything to actually protect you from the stun though, because I think it'll go through the shield. So I'm not sure they're actually going to get like a benefit out of that, but I would like to see. I mean, entirely possible if that turns out to be the play to put it on the other side of the doorway. Because, like you said, you know, then the counter to it doesn't work the same way. But that's if it even works. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess it helps protect you if they start pushing your door.
So, bullet now on the outside of blue. You know, this is sometimes you'll see a player kind of. Ooh, he's so out. Oh, that yokai, unfortunate. This is what sometimes you'll see. If you got a Buck or a Zofia, they do the work. Sometimes even the AQ can do it. M-King takes out Julio. First loss, and I'm really not sure what Julio was trying to accomplish there, but the wall is going to get easily opened up here, and even an EMP thrown in for good measure in case Kamikaze uses his Electro Claws on the wall. So you come in from below, you impact from below, you destroy any jammers, any bandit batteries, whatever that might be plaguing the wall, and okay, you just keep finding kills off of it. This is very odd.
This is too many freebies, too much aggression from Ninja's Pyjamas getting punished. MIB R untouched at this point, even though shots right there just more hitting the reinforced wall. Just so far, MIB R playing much better. Bullet finally taking some damage, but look at Kamikaze as well. Low on health now, could easily be traded back as Bullet as much as advantage. And there it is, M-King to pick him up. This is falling apart for Ninja's Pyjamas, especially with that pick there, just through the tiniest crack. Gohan, last to try this. Still has a C4 to throw out here. Most likely will in a second if he has the intel, but it doesn't matter. M-King picks up a couple that round. Flawless from MIB R.
Did they take any damage in it even?
Just the Zofia. On the bullet, yeah. As far as I can see. What a round from MIB R. I gotta imagine they'll probably try cash again rather than go gym bedroom. Yes, they will. But wow. Just too many lives thrown away by Ninja's Pyjamas. A little bit overconfident. Absolutely playing against them. So they'll have to play a little bit smarter this time. Make sure they have some good intel between the black eyes and the yokais. I like how they all end in eyes. Black eyes, evil eyes, yokais. Think that was intentional? You know what yokai means anyways? I don't know. I should probably know that before we go to Japan, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm assuming it means something.
Let me check.
I don't know. I like when Ubisoft's kind of clever with how the name might mean
Yokai,
something.
they're a class of supernatural monsters, spirits,
Of course.
and demons.
It's
in
kind of like
Japanese
Dokubi.
folklore. The
That's
word
right.
yokai is made up of the kanji for bewitching.
That's right. I remember. Yeah, I remember hearing about that before.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's why he has the.
That's why it's cloaked and.
But that's why he also has. Well, Echo
mask?
himself has that mask.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad they. I like when they do stuff like that because if it's in a language I don't know, I'm always hoping it means something. I'm like not one of those like dumb Americans that gets like, you know, a tattoo of of some like foreign characters and doesn't really know what
I
it
like
means.
fried rice. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's just something really dumb that people get. Oh, hey, you know, it's a Chinese
I mean,
character or whatever.
it's that, but also that mask is a very kabuki theater kind
Yeah,
of
it's
style. So, hey, maybe we can actually go to a kabuki theater
Ooh.
in Japan. I've heard that there are sometimes big fans of certain actors that or parts of the play that come in and will start screaming and yelling and everything whenever they say something right. It's apparently to applaud them, and apparently it's a great honor to be sitting next to those people.
So interesting.
I've been told that from a Westerner's point of view, it is just extremely annoying. So, hey man, it happens.
Good to know these things ahead of time, though.
No, it's great. I've been exploring through all of these, and it's a great bit of experience, you know, hearing this from Westerners that have even lived in Japan for quite a few months.
Relevant to the game, that might be something Ninja Pyjamas want to know, because still looking like they go.
So there's the drone that has been taken away. The wall has not been opened up, and at least MIB have learned their mistake from the previous round. That's why they replay the site, right? They're like, okay, we know what we did that was wrong, which is everything. How about we not do that?
Yeah. At least they're getting the wall open in the first minute. That's a good start. Especially with a Kite and a Bandit in play. That is a lot to deny the wall. And the fact that they get that open efficiently is good, especially without taking any damage or getting any unnecessary engagements. So MIB R playing as careful as they did last round. Very efficient. But also I think that some of Ninjas playing a little careful as well, not getting an early pick on themselves from overplaying the wall. I almost wonder if they might just want to consider like leaving the wall soft or something. If you know you're not going to get it anyways, you're going to play more of a retake.
I mean, you're going to play Bandit Clyde and then still not be able to hold it for long?
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm seeing though, again, he was the one to frag out a lot last time on this site, last round. Looking for a second, but no, he is countered. Well done to Kamikaze without taking any damage back.
Well done.
Trade for the Gohan pick. Gohan.
Gohan. Son Gohan.
Hand. Navi's moving into this buck here for the rotate. I like that pre-fire. Was a good follow-up to that, because when you open anything, you got that surprise moment. Might as well use it.
Just dropping down logistics. Muzi's taking a decent chunk of damage there. Spots player in the back and doesn't hit the kneecap. Insta-kill.
Now he being on low health, though, is definitely problematic. Kamikaze low health now as well. Well, not low, but definitely getting there. Psycho on this roam, though, could be inefficient, as I was going to say, as he's trapped downstairs, but nope, he's dead. So he is definitely not efficient. Ninja's looking like they could repeat that last round.
Now, the bonus that NIP have right now is that there's no more hard breach left. The Thermite had already used up all of his utility, and great pre-fire from Kamikaze, saving the round here. Flashbang is thrown into him. There's 2 more shells left in the TCSG. Oh, so much was being used for the setup even. Novi's will get 1 and leaves Julio on his own. Oh no, he gets fired upon from the server. They enter right in. And MIBR catch yet another round.
Such a confident push they have, though. They're really catching a lot of players off. And I gotta mention, again, it's an intel thing. You saw, for example, they knew exactly where the Jaeger was. Just a lot of anticipation and trapping of players of Ninja's Pyjamas time and time again. I mean, you saw even Muzi get 1, but, you know, get immediately traded back. And it's been, or M King rather, it's been interesting, especially during these attack rounds from MIBR, because Ninja's Pyjamas just haven't been able to figure it out on cash, and now they have to go back to, or not have to, but they're going to go back to church. That, from my point of view, they have to, just because they have not figured out cash. And that leaves them in a tough spot because of how difficult Jim could be. And I was talking earlier about Pulse not being played much. We're actually going to see a 6-pick too. Nope. Nah, never mind. And, I mean, I liked the idea of the Rook, but the way he was playing it didn't really work out too great. So I think it's smart to go ahead, pick the Legion. You're going to get more utility out of that, I think, on this particular bomb site. So good choice. I do wonder if he's going to play aggressive, though. He can be an aggressive player overall. And overplaying aggression, as we talked about on the site, can be really problematic unless you have a good escape route and you know you're not going to get flanked. If you're playing spots like Blue Stairs, for example, where you're unlikely to get flanked, except for from maybe Oil Pit, then okay, yeah. If you could play back and you could play smart and be aggressive and pre-fire things without just getting pinched, cool, that's doable. Upstairs, not the same situation, so that's fine. But being Legion and your value going up throughout the round, more reason you should not be over aggressive and just play to delay even. Like if you play some of those aggressive spots, say Blue Stairs, kind of pre-fire them a bit and then line up those goo mines on blue, you can really help secure blue stairs for a long time and give the Jaeger a lot of opportunity. Because, of course, the Jaeger can also cover your exit as you go to leave, or even cover your cross on the oil pit to make sure he doesn't get flanked. So some good teamwork you could have there if you were to play a similar spot again. But, that's all in theory. That's just going off of what he did before and him changing roles. But it was interesting that it was a 6th pick, and that could have either just been a decision change or simply trying to hide the fact that they might need to look for those goo mines.
MIB R, very surprising with how they're playing today. And honestly, very surprising that NIP are playing so sloppily.
Yeah.
They've been given rounds.
It's
on,
not great.
on their, I mean, we ended the half 3-3.
Yeah, they were doing good getting up those attack rounds, but now they're kind of squandering them on catch defenses that aren't working. However, they did win their last time here on Church. Totally doable again.
And that's one of the angles that you were talking about. Yeah, we can't see it. You got to go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
One floor down.
Is Kamikaze playing the same shield thing? I didn't catch that. Whether or not he's playing that black box shield again. That's the angle. Thank you. So there's some other angles as well you could take, but that's definitely one of the nice things. That's why Capitao also gets banned, because you can hit the firebolt and deny anyone sitting behind there.
Exactly.
And ADS can't do anything to stop you on it, so.
The Jaeger ran out and then ran back in and
startled.
He would have gotten away with it.
What's a round on Church defense that isn't Zofia versus Jaeger in blue? It's the battle for the times.
When it's Gridlock versus Jaeger.
I guess. That's always funny.
Or Capitao versus Jaeger.
Oh, that's not a good situation for Jaeger.
No.
Is one counter.
Well, more angles being opened up here as it's time for MIBR to hit the deck, really, and try to inch their way into the site. It seems like it's going to be a Church push again.
Well, they've got good control of here right now. Just Navis needs to not lose those fights.
EMP's thrown out, and Thermite Charge will go off. Should be more than enough to open up as well as the Cabana play. This is why you saw it there. And that grenade should dispatch with the shield pretty quickly.
I think ADS snatched
Oh,
it,
no.
They didn't flash out first. They were trying to get the surprise play. And he's still got the shield. He's only got 7 shells left in shotgun, though.
More than enough. And oh, Novi's dropped on the floor. They're going to have to rescue him if they'll even have time. There's so little left. 15 in for MIBR. And they have to enter with a shotgun. Or against the shotgun. Kamikaze's ready for him. He turns around, gets one. Hugsword has already taken one more. But Kamikaze and Muzi are doing the work. It's sweet chin music all over. And everybody's getting hit in the head.
Wow.
Kamikaze and Gohan get the last 2, and NIP secure it so well.
They've got to wish they could just play Church at this point.
Yeah, remember back in the day where you could actually do that?
Well, I mean, not just Church, but you could play Church every other round.
Yeah. I mean, you go to Church, you win that, and then you go to another site and then lose that, and then go back to Church, and then...
Yeah.
I remember specifically, it was like an EG versus... I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was EG
That was also
Rogue?
when, like, Bar was the secondary.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So...
It's true.
It's funny because it felt like with the map buff, they were trying to make Bar better, and somehow actually made it worse. Definitely did not work out. But either way, maybe someone will find a pioneering Bar strat that works, and will be fun, but not likely to happen anytime soon, fortunately. However, I do think it's ironic that Navi's was the one to go down, because had he come in with a skeleton key and just pre-fire spammed with someone behind him, he might have been able to actually take that. Because, I mean, the fire rate on the pump shotgun is, I'm pretty sure, lower than the skeleton key.
Yes.
So he could have actually spammed it enough to deny smoke, or at least trade with him. It's just unfortunate for him in getting down, and also the ADS taking that nade. They really should have flashed that better first, and then naded it. It was just Navi's coordination really working against that attack. So that is unfortunate for one player's moves to kind of domino effect like that. One change we're going to see here on Cash, though, thankfully, is the Mozzie being brought. Should be interesting. See if that makes a huge difference here. Still got the 3 pests undeployed. But those will be good on drone holes at the very least. There are quite a few good choke points you can use on this particular site that they can't necessarily get around very easily. So it is a good site for Mozzie. And the last thing you want them to know is all your positioning, so they can nade in or even hit you from below. So I definitely think it's a good pick. Whether or not it'll work for them, hard to say. I mean, we're up at 5-5 here, so both teams have had similar struggles and successes. In this case, though, it's definitely cash is the problem here, whereas Church and Jim were the mixed bag for MIBR's defenses. King looking for any early kills. Still got 2x, Kairos, and 3 stuns left, though, so he needs to not die early to a peak, just because so much utility left in his pocket. It would be unfortunate for him to lose a fight, and sometimes over-aggressive Hibana's work, but they just need this wall open. This is the important thing here, and they're going to get it open quickly. Literally the exact same timestamp, 2:02 left on the timer. So that's almost like they've got that down to a T.
Yeah, it's clockwork motion at this point. Right now, it's NIP that are backed up against the wall. They cannot lose a single round if they want to qualify today. They will probably qualify eventually. I don't think that's the question.
I think it's likely, but yeah, they definitely are looking like there's some weaknesses that are being exploited by. And this is the MIBR who've been just struggling. And I gotta say, after seeing this match and last one, I'm confident maybe they figured it out. Or just picked better maps, I don't know. Maybe they did better prep, but it's hard to say. Or maybe they have some, I mean, they have a coach, so I think, right? I'm trying to remember.
I think they got a psychologist as well last week. There was some Reddit post about it.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's. I'd like to find that out. I don't know if we get to interview them or.
No.
I don't remember if they were one of the ones now.
No. Oh. So Musi peeking up here in the Echo. Nobody pushing him just yet. He's definitely safe up here as you can't spot him and have damage done to Cyber. You have to watch for the double push.
It's risky playing an Echo up there because usually if he's going to go on his Echo drone, he's going to go prone. And that leaves him kind of exposed, especially if he's not super conscious of his feet positioning.
There we go. Muzi still finds Cyber. Oh, huge pick here. Thatcher is lost. He's not the most important operator right now.
No, he got the wall open.
Oh, why did he jump down? Oh, they traded.
What a huge misplay by Muzi. I don't care if you got the kill right there. You are too important to die right there. You just gave Church to them. Yes, you have man advantage, but not worth it in my opinion.
You mean Garage, I'm sure, but...
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said that. Did I say Church?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, we're praying for this play, that's for sure. And Hugsworth's on his own. NIP, even with that huge operator loss in Garage. And he realized he was trapped, right?
Yeah.
That's the understanding behind it. But
I guess.
Was it really worth it? I am not sure. In the end, it doesn't matter. They got the round. NIP 1 away from victory.
And secured 1 point, importantly. They also denied MIBR the chance to kind of climb back up a little bit, which is it's unfortunate for MIBR, but they've still got time left this season to get points and get themselves out of the lower spots. Gym Bedroom defense, though. Now that they won 2 in a row, they got to go here. They have yet to show their defense here. We did see it only once from MIBR. So I think the Mozzie is always a good choice on this side as well. Combine that with the Echo, it should be interesting. The Alibi is one we do actually see somewhat common on this top floor, but it is going to get 6th pick off of. No 6 picks coming out from MIBR. They don't really need to. You don't really need to change up or surprise too much on attack on this particular map. You can occasionally if you want to just try and change something slightly, like a lot of times last-minute decision, or you see something you want to particularly counter. But otherwise, yeah, you can pretty much stick with the reliable. Let's have 1 or 2 hard breachers. Let's have the Zofia, the Thatcher. And then, you know, the Buck could be the more flex kind of operator choice you can move around. I would have liked to see the IQ come out, though, potentially. Just because you've got the Echo to deal with, and also you might have some pests you need to catch, things like that.
That's a good point, but I understand why MIBR run the way they do, right?
Well, I mean, the Buck is
double
great
hard
still,
breacher. Yeah. You get the Buck. It's good to have. You have the extra grenades. You should be expecting Gym Bedroom to be played at this point, right? So maybe being prepped more specifically for this site, the IQ would be a...
If IQ had nades back, though, then that'd be an easy choice over the Buck.
I mean, breaching charges with the fact that Castle usually gets played on this site,
absolutely, yeah.
It would be a bad decision.
Yeah, because otherwise the Zofia is carrying, but then Zofia does, and it's kind of a one-man army for dealing with the Gym defense.
A great operator. Remember back in the day when she had two impacts and 4 stuns? That was...
Oh, man, that was overkill. Well, at least the Buck does do some work already, and killing the Mozzie early, always good. We always talk about, you know, some of the operators that are good late round. There's 3 of them on this lineup, the Smoke, the Echo, and the Mozzie, and that was a good early kill. M King trying to get some advantage here on being able to at least see the feet. That's good because, of course, you have the repels you can do to get angles in, so you can really take advantage of feet shots without going prone. So that is a great place to get those open. Still can have potentially one X Cairo left to make it a walk-through hole, but you also have Thermite to eventually open the other side as well. Doing some droning here to make sure that he knows what he's walking into if he pushes into server. Also, whether or not he should watch certain angles. That's a good catch there without him catching the drone. Muzi just hoping he doesn't get pushed from connector like he's expecting. But you know that then, you know, he's expecting connector, just don't tip your hand. I wouldn't necessarily push in with the Hibana though. He does have 3 flashes though he could use to try to... Why are you droning for that long, giving away this much information at this point? Someone needs to do something with this information. This feels like a huge waste of time by M King if someone doesn't execute Muzi. They are pushing the other side, but they're just so far from him. What is M King doing? Still droning him with a second drone. Do something with the information at this point. You know he's there. Okay, we get it. He's there. He's not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. There we go. Thank you, please. I mean, literally wasting a good 30 seconds accomplishing nothing but losing a drone. Bullet, however, there to take down Kamikaze. That's the smoke down. That gives us 53 seconds, a little bit of an extension.
Oh,
finding
no.
a second one.
And
a Psycho. MIB R looking to tie this up.
Julio coming around from behind, and he gets shot as well. It's a 1v4. Muzi is down. MIB R tie it up 6-6 on Clubhouse.
MIB R is back, baby.
They're back. They're doing work, and NIP will have to wait one more playdate.
Well, the region continues with the draws.
That's 13 draws.
They like them draws. It's like maybe we need to move SSG to this region.
And Rogue.
That's true. Yeah, Rogue even more so. SSG is the more like the long-term one, but yeah, Rogue have definitely got them beat this season.